Andres Mayor Cantrell says she has not used the Pontalba apartment since it returned to the French Market Corporation.
Last night, the mayor's office released a statement that says, in part, quote, the suggestion that the mayor is somehow holding up the process regarding the renovation of the building and rental market availability is incorrect. Even before the city council ordinance was passed authorizing the return of the Pontalba apartment to the French Market Corporation, the mayor has not used the apartment. But according to a letter written by Councilmember J.P. Morrell last week, she still has the only keys and personal belongings inside. Her statement did not address the keys nor the personal items reportedly inside the apartment. In Morrell's letter, he also urged the mayor to turn those keys over and let the council know of her plans to vacate, and they wanted that by noon yesterday. The council did not get that, the keys nor notification. Morrell says the council will hold an eviction vote on Thursday. This comes 6 months after the city council voted to take away the mayor's use of the apartment. Our outside the office investigations documented hours the mayor spent inside the Pontalba with her security officer, Jeffrey Vappy, not using this apartment for city functions as intended. And sources say federal prosecutors are questioning their time spent at the apartment.